So a little while ago, I mentioned that I used to work in Formula as a videographer, and loads of comments came through asking about what that was all like. You know, what was it like working in Formula? What was my actual role in the sports? What sort of content was I creating and such? So I've listed up a load of your questions here, and I'm going to sort of go through them all and talk about, you know, my process into getting motorsports, and yeah, you know, what the whole Formula vibe was like, and hopefully I can answer some of your questions. So the first question from Lucas was, how did you get into working in Formula? What was the process for getting in? So a bit of backstory, because my process was a bit unconventional. So I used to work at a YouTube social media agency where we used to create content for British TV shows. So there'd be the likes of Graham Norton, the Jonathan Ross Show, Gordon Ramsay, The Last Leg, and The In-Betweeners. Those were like my main sort of areas. And during this time, Formula had already done its first season, and they wanted to have more of like an online presence in terms of creating original content for YouTube and for their social media. So they got in touch with us, and basically the email came through of like, who wants to create videos for a championship, who's got racing experience. I've got some racing experience, you know, I've got family members who do a lot of classic car racing. So then for 3 years, I was working on the social media content team for Formula E, and then after that, I moved to the production company for another 3 years, who created the actual TV broadcast of Formula E themselves, the equivalent, you know, of like Liberty Media for Formula One. And during that time, half of it was working on the actual TV broadcast itself, and the other half was being a videographer for a race team, which was Envision Virgin Racing. So yeah, as I mentioned before, a bit of an unconventional way of getting into motorsport, but yeah, that's how I got in. So this next question is from Alex, who says, what was your work in Formula E? So yeah, past 6 years was basically creating content for Formula E themselves, and then onto the TV broadcast, and then also for the race team. So the first 3 years was just for Formula E's YouTube channel, and that would be series like Race School, creating 360 videos, doing viral content of like a stunt guy doing a backflip over the car, doing mini preview shows with Mark Priestley to get people up to speed with the races. And then when I moved to the production company, I would like create the broadcast openers, so the things that you see at the very beginning, I would create the titles. I did that for 2 years running, but most of my time was focusing on making the original content for the race team themselves. So that'd be driver Q&As called Behind the Visor, doing special activities of going on roller coasters or racing around Rome. And with a lot of these projects, it's very much a self-shooting role, so you're having to write it, produce it, film it, edit it, and publish it yourself. And it's quite the norm in motorsport to have that, but yeah, I don't think I'd be able to count up how many videos I've been able to make over the last 6 years. So this next question is from Abhinav. Apologies if I pronounced that wrong. How was your travel schedule? Did you go to all the races, or were you more of a behind the scenes guy? Yes, I went to all the races. I believe I went to 57 in total. So I started at the end of season 1 all the way to the end of season 6. And yeah, in the latter stages, I was very much just traveling with the race team themselves, because I'd be staying with the team. We would fly out on Tuesday evening and then arrive Wednesday afternoon. On Thursday, we build up all of our gear and film any off-site activities. On Friday, we go to the track, and that would be our media day. And on Saturday, it would be shakedown, or also free practice 1 as well. And then on Sunday, it's basically from 5 AM all the way till 11 PM, because that's the 1 day race format they have, and that's a very tiring day of it. So that's what our rough week would look like. This next question is from Sam, who says, what was it like traveling to so many different countries? Honestly, a bit of a blur. The novelty of going to a new country has definitely worn off, unfortunately. I think I've been to a total of 16 countries, which were China, Malaysia, Uruguay, Argentina, Mexico City, USA, France, Germany, Hong Kong, Marrakesh, Monaco, Canada, Chile, Italy, Switzerland, and Diria. And also the UK, but I live in the UK, so that one doesn't really count. But I think it's a good thing to point out that although I've been to all these countries, we're not there on holiday, we're there as work, and we don't get to see much of the country at all. It's typically the airport, the hotel, and then wherever the racetrack is. We don't have time to, you know, go out and explore or anything like that, unless we've taken extra holiday to stay there, which would be very rare. But I would say though that like some of my favorite countries would have been, you know, Hong Kong and America. And I've got this great memory of the first country I got to visit was China. Went to Beijing, went to where the Olympic Stadium was, and in my hotel room, I ordered Chinese food, and there was this split moment of like, oh my god, I get to try Chinese food properly for the first time.
Oh my god, it's so good.
But having said that though, Formulary does primarily race on street circuits, so a lot of the locations we were doing were in the middle of the cities. So a great example would be Paris, where literally from our hotel and our racetrack, we could see the Eiffel Tower, and having that experience is really awesome. So the next question is from Kerr, who says, what was it like being behind the scenes in Formulary, and how did it feel to get invited onto the podium back in Paris? So I'll answer that second question first. So when one of our drivers won the race, the team would be invited to go up onto the podium to sort of celebrate with them, get a big group photo of all of us together. And yeah, the one in Paris was really special because it was Robin's first time winning in Formulary, and I would also say it's one of the most eventful races we ever had, where the race started off, you know, with bright sunshine, and then halfway through it started hailing down, and it was just a really eventful race. And yeah, Robin won, and when he was on the podium, the team were invited to go up, and typically I thought normally to stay off because, you know, I'm just being the videographer for them. I'm not actually part of the mechanic crews or the engineers or anything like that. And then Robin literally said to me, mate, get up on the podium, and it was really awesome to like sort of be with like all my comrades, as it were, and sort of celebrating it with like with the guys. And so much so that I got this ordered, which is a model of Robin's car from season 5, just because, yeah, that memory really holds true to me. It was so special to celebrate that with Robin and the team. When you're a videographer, you're very much self-shooting, you're very much on your own, and that team was so warm and welcoming to me, you know, like not only the mechanics but the engineers behind the scenes, and it was just so nice to sort of be included with them. And yeah, that was just a really special moment. But just to quickly jump back to your first question of what was it like being behind the scenes in Formulary, you know, naturally it was awesome, you know, being able to have all the access you want of, you know, going into people's garages, speaking with drivers, seeing how all the cars are fully put together, as well as, you know, pit lane rumors, driver rumors, and manufacturer rumors and stuff, which is always fun. But then you also see like the quirky side of it as well, where I've got like some great interactions with like celebrities. So Luke Evans, for example, was invited to London to drive the car. We had a great old chat and stuff. Then afterwards he went on the Ellen DeGeneres show and showed the video that I filmed of him, and it was awesome. There's also been a few sketchy moments as well. The one I can think of in particular was I was filming on the first corner in Monaco, and a woman had snuck past security and was running down the runoff area to try and get onto the track. Luckily the track marshal stopped her in time, and I think then she was taken away and arrested. But yeah, been really fascinating to see it all from behind the scenes. This next question is from Christian, who says, have you ever had a conversation with the drivers? Yeah, I mean, Formulary is quite a big family, where everyone kind of knows each other, and the drivers have like no egos and are very open to having conversations with you in the pit lane. Naturally, I know like Sam Bird and Robin Frines the most because they're with the team, and we filmed loads of videos with them on a regular basis. I mean, I've even been scuba diving with them both, just like around some sharks and stuff, which was quite cool. And in actual fact, in the last 6 races, which were all held in Berlin, I was doing the post-race press conferences, so asking the drivers how the race was going after each one. And so yeah, the openness to the drivers there was actually really cool. So yeah, I spoke to pretty much all the drivers. And this last one is from JM, who asked a big question: why did I leave Formulary? Well, the simplistic answer is that I was actually made redundant. You know, so many businesses are struggling during this pandemic, and unfortunately, yeah, my role was seen as one that could be cut back. But the truth to the matter is that actually come the last 6 races in Berlin, I'd already actually planned to leave Formulary and actually had work already lined up. So when I was working there, it's kind of like a bittersweet moment. I know these are going to be my last races with the championship, and it's just a bit of a weird feeling, you know. So along with COVID and all these precautions we're having to do, it feels weird leaving here after so long. And so I think the main reason of me wanting to leave Formulary was due to that I'd worked in so many different areas of the championship already, you know, making videos for Formulary, making videos for the host broadcaster, making videos for a race team, and so your creativity is very limited, and after doing that for like 6 years, it has its toll on you. And also there was like no real progression for me to go up to a next level, and so yeah, come Berlin I already knew I was going to be leaving, and here we are. And so there you have it. I know there's a load more questions you guys had asked as well, so if you do have any more, then let me know down in the comment section below as well. But thanks very much for watching. I know it's a little bit different to what I usually make, but if you want to see any more videos about Formulary, I've done a whole breakdown of all the costs of all the cars, so if you want to see that, you can do so by clicking over there on the left hand side. And if you're new to the channel, then why not hit subscribe. But thanks very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it, and I'll see you next time.